Well, Jonny, we've won a game. My heart was racing through quite a lot of it. I feel like we played well at points. I feel like we didn't play very well at points. We've beaten Chelsea. I hate Chelsea. It's 3-2. What do you make of that?
It was a bit of a funny game, wasn't it? It was like we went up early, we got the early goal, and we didn't then struggle to really assert any sort of dominance on Chelsea. And then they were just like that annoying little brother that stuck around and hung around, and nobody embodies an annoying little brother more than Garnacho. So conceding 2 to him really annoyed me. But like I say, in terms of their play, they actually didn't play that badly. And at times they had us under pressure a bit. They started the game with this high risk sort of build up, trying to play through our press, and I was thinking we're gonna nick another 2-3 here, and they found a way to play through us at times. So yeah, it was a case of we should have dominated that game, but we didn't get any real control of it, I don't think.
I still feel, I don't know if when I watch Arsenal play, I sometimes worry that I'm a little bit thick in that I watch it and go, we just don't seem to play that well. I feel like, like the Villa game, we were sort of teetering on the edge. When we beat Spurs, it was very, very nice. Yeah, there's a few games where we play quite well, and then there's a lot of games where, like this, for example, we went 1-0 up, and I was like, well, this is good. But I totally agree with you. I felt quite under pressure from them, and I felt like they were really there for the taking in that we asserted our dominance, but then feel like we didn't quite do enough with it. And I felt a little bit. I'm probably going to do a deep dive onto Gyökeres, but there was a few times when Gyökeres got the ball, and I had about 7 touches. But again, he wasn't really in a position where he could do much with it. And I worry that we still didn't play that well, but then am I being a bit thick because we still won 3-2?
It is just all so functional. Our attacking players don't scintillate. Simple as that. Even Saka at times, he has a couple flashes and moments. They're not fluid together. So it's not like I can always go back to the 22-23 season. Everyone was playing well at once. But look, at times tonight, it's always like, Odegaard's going to play well for a little bit, then he's going to go off the ball, he won't be on his game, and then Saka might go and beat a player, but then there'll be no one in the box to do it. It's not all coming together at the right time. There's a fluidity issue, and I'm just hoping that eventually that rhythm will come all together and, the orchestra will start playing. But yeah, at the moment, and that is why we're very compact, we're very difficult to break down, and we have been for a very long time, but it just doesn't feel like it's flat as to deceive all the time with us at the moment. And that game, really, we were a far better starting lineup than theirs tonight. We should have dominated that game. That was our, and really take the fullbacks out of it. That's near enough to what we call the full strength team.
I do feel like, Raya is quite a big upgrade on Kepa. I know Kepa made some good saves, but I feel his dominance and his control at the back there and the calmness he puts through the rest of the defence wasn't there tonight.
No.
And I feel like you can see quite a big gap. I also feel like I think Ben White played well, but when you look how well Timber played, you can see how big an upgrade Timber is. And it's a shame, but it just looks like Mars Lewis-Skelly is not going to... he's not going to get his third choice now, really.
That was a crazy thing. That was as soon as I saw the team sheet, and I thought to myself, if Timber's playing, we move back to left back. He really has lost a lot of faith in him. I'm just hoping that this means that Arteta may be finally considering moving him into his actual real position, which is midfield. But I don't think he's having him as a left back. And in tonight was a typical example. I'm not being funny. We knew they were going to be without Palmer, James, and Caicedo. You play he would have been up against an Esteval. And Esteval's a very good player, and he was their best player for me tonight. But come on. This is a game you can really go and stamp your authority. Where we got a busy schedule, we could have been, 3-4 up and played with a little bit of aggression and confidence. But I didn't get that from the lineup in terms of leaving out Mars Lewis-Skelly, but also, it says a lot about what he thinks about him.
Do you think that it was more Chelsea forced their way back in, or we let them back in?
We let them back in. A lot of the time. It was both times. That was like the old Arsenal. I was saying to someone during the game, I was like, he was moaning about the state of our goals and the fact that we don't score any decent goals, which was true after them first 2 goals. And I was like, well, look, we used to score unbelievable goals and then let 3 goals in as well and go and lose games. So at least we're not going to do that. But there was signs of that tonight. There were signs of that where we sort of allowed a very poor Chelsea team. We allowed Esteval to sort of do what he wanted on that right hand side, and we allowed a lot of their players to be show that they're better than they are. I mean, I was thinking Cucurella at times as well. Even in the first half, he was doing what he wanted, playing through the press, and he was playing very, very risky football. And I was thinking, come on, boys, get at him. But we allowed it. We were a little bit passive at times because I thought sometimes with this team, it comes down to complacency. And I think we thought we're a lot better, and we played like that tonight without, doing the basics.
I feel like, if you look at Chelsea, I know they had there was some players missing, but Esteval is a great player. He was probably their best player. Neto, as much as he just looks angry that he has to play for Chelsea, he's still a very, very good player. Pedro, I thought, was a bit weak. We would definitely have the upper hand on them, but what about their goals? Do you feel like there was a foul on Kepa for the second one, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you could get that foul, but realistically, I'm not gonna sit here and. Even that, I'm not going to moan about that because, that can happen. But what I didn't like was after that goal, it's how we reacted to it. So, I think, potentially you can get that, but you might not get that at Stamford Bridge. Fair enough. We had a decision go for us in the league game. Might not get that one. Cool. The reaction, though. Like, for me, after that, we really let them into the game. And even it took us about 10 minutes to be like, hang on, boys, we're the better team here. And I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was fatigue or what. But, there was definitely a drop-off at times tonight. Because for me, I looked at the teams here. I was like, that's a 4-5-1 tonight. And I think it could have been.
Agree. And I especially when we went 3-1 up, that I felt like there was a good 10 because that wasn't like was that the 70th minute?
Yeah, 70th, about 60.
So 70th when we were 3-1 up, and then I felt like we had a good 10 minutes before the Garnacho goal where I was like, oh, we're going to get another one. And Mourinho had that chance, which that's just bad luck that doesn't become 4-1. So I feel like at that point, 4-1, you're thinking, oh, the second leg is absolutely, Chelsea are going to put out the kids. We definitely have won this. And so it is a shame that it's finished up 3-2. Let's talk a little bit about Martín Zubimendi because for me, he's been our best signing, arguably against other than Gabriel, he's been our best player this season. I think he's been fantastic to slot into this team with no question asked, to be an upgrade on the player we had playing our number 6 last year, and also this one seems like a lovely bloke, and isn't it wonderful to just watch this guy?
Oh mate, our little Enrique Iglesias. That's what he's. That's what I see him as. When we sold Partey in the summer, which was for rightful reasons. Or letting go, sorry. I was worried about that because I was worried that I liked the combination of Rice and Partey. I liked that partnership. I knew what he did for this team. But I didn't expect the goals. With Zubimendi, I knew he was going to be like, I expected this sort of Busquets player, and I watched him a few times at Sociedad. I expected this sort of Busquets player. But he's someone who really actually has he has an eye for goal, and he likes to, he likes to put pressure and roam forward and he has another license for freedom. So he's been a real revelation. I think he's one of the best signings, full stop, from the summer transfer window across the whole league. And he's made that position his own, and it's not easy. Like, especially playing the way he does. He is very good. He's Mr. Press Resistant. He is someone who knows how to dictate and control the tempo. But to walk into the Premier League and be doing this within 6 months and be almost like a mainstay in the best team in the league, you're top level. And that goal tonight with his left foot, he scored 2 of the best goals we scored this season, I think. What was the goal? What was the goal he scored?
From outside the box?
Yeah, the volley from the corner.
Yeah.
There was that. And he scored a header in that game as well. Was that Forest or whoever it was? He's been quality, and I don't think he's being spoken about anywhere near enough. I really don't. So a petition for everyone to start talking about Zubimendi and how good he's been for us.
Yeah, I love this, Jonny. It was against Nottingham Forest, that volley.
Yeah.
And I love this, Jonny. You have proper analysis. Where honestly, I'm a vibes guy. I sit there and you've got like an actual football analysis. I was sort of going, I don't know. It felt a bit funny, that one, 3-2.
I'm being a bit of a nerd tonight.
I love it. Keep up the nerds. Martín Zubimendi, big shout out to Martín Zubimendi. Let's give him his flowers. He was fantastic. Gyökeres, I feel like that was a more positive performance. I said in the WhatsApp group as the game was starting, I was like, another day of me just hoping that the Gyökeres ovations can be put to the side. He said post match, that's what I need to do, and I can do it more often. Wise word, but he was in the right place. It was an XG of 0.98.
Was it actually?
That chance. Yeah, 0.98. Who's the 0.2 missing that?
Mate, exactly. Someone without a leg.
Sonogo.
Yeah. What I found funny, early doors, I think the first thing that Alan Smith said on commentary was, Gyökeres is getting involved. Didn't touch it, but he backed up well. And I thought, Jesus Christ, what are we in for it? And then that continued. That theme of Alan Smith giving him encouragement continued. And I was saying to you before, I think the Strikers Union have been on to Alan Smith and tried to, get off his back, because he willed those goals in, Alan Smith, on commentary. He was very, very biased. His Arsenal history was showing tonight on commentary. But look, it's a goal. I was a lot more impressed with his assist. I thought, you know what? That's what you should be doing. That's the least I expect you to be doing. That's laying it off, setting it up for Zubimendi for him to then... Zubimendi did all the hard work, but that's what I want my box presence, my 9 doing. Occupying defenders, holding them off and laying it off to people that, that like a shot. So, listen, he lives to fight another day, Gyökeres. And and you got to praise him. He did his job tonight. Goal and assist. He's done his job.
He did. And Havertz came on and got another sort of 15 minutes towards the end.
Nice.
I think you can definitely see the positions that Gyökeres receives the ball. You know that Havertz, with his sort of sprinkle of magic, is going to help us a lot more than Gyökeres does. Because there was even a chance, and Gyökeres receives the ball, and again he does quite well, but he was in a great position at that point. And if the ball isn't put to where Gyökeres likes to be, you can't really blame him. It's not like he misses sitters. So I feel like what would you give him out of 10 today? I'd probably give him like 7.5.
I was about to say that. Remember I was saying the other day on the show, confidence is probably at play here. That's probably why he's struggling as much as he is. He's got his goal and assist now. He's got all the lads to jump on him and give him a hug. Let's see what we get next game. What have we got?
Yeah.
Where are we next game?
Forest away.
Forest away. That's, to be fair, that's his sort of game. His best game in the shirt was the first half before he come off at Burnley. And he's played well against Forest. He scored, did he not get 2 against Forest early in the season? That's when I was really rubbing my hands. I ain't seen that again yet.
A lot of the pundits have been saying that this is one of Gyökeres' best performances. And I do sort of agree it is one of his best performances, other than that Burnley game where he got injured. So maybe this is a chance, as you say, he's going to take a few more steps forward. So, well done, Viktor Gyökeres. Let's hope there's more to come. One point that I really wanted to point out, Jonny, which I don't know if you saw this, which made me laugh, was during the game, the away end was singing, "The Arsenal boys were on a bender, Thomas Frank is a silver member." Like, I love that sort of... You could hear the Arsenal fans so clearly throughout the entire game, which was just glorious, especially at Chelsea. Yeah. Although, it did make me realise that when I go to the return leg at the Emirates, I get, where I sit, below me is where they extend out the away fans. So I always do feel, because I'm above, I do always feel like I'm in the away end, and I dread it. I hate it. It's like, it's horrible being so close to him.
Mate,
smell them.
I had that exactly, yeah. I remember seeing that Olympiacos, was it, where they had the loudest fans, and I do for the Champions League games. I get a seat. One of my mates, he can't ever go to midweek, can't ever go. So I go to Champions League, get a seat, and I'm normally above there. But yeah, Olympiacos fans were the most mental fans I think I've ever seen in that, jumping up and down, and they were playing shit as well throughout. Didn't matter to them. Really didn't matter. But yeah, no, in terms of that Thomas Frank thing, this is going to be something a stick we can beat Spurs fans. Like we ain't got enough sticks to beat Spurs fans with. We are going to do this forever. He'll be long gone. My kids will be talking about Thomas Frank with that cup. Yeah. So long may it continue. That will be part of our title celebrations as well.
Did you notice today? I don't think this will be spoken about whatsoever. There was a point when I think it was João Pedro took a little swig of water, and it looked like it was from a little Arsenal bottle. I don't think anyone's going to point. I hope we see this on Twitter somewhere or on X.
Straight onto X and find out.
Because I feel like I saw him, because I know those little plastic. Come on, Arsenal, what are you using this single-use plastic? But I feel like there's a little Arsenal bottle that he might have got from Kepa's goal. So I don't know.
Luke.
Someone would have picked up on it. They're all Arsenal fans, which is great to see. How are you feeling about the chances of the second leg? I was going to say earlier that before Gabriel got injured, and before Saliba got injured, before Mosquera got injured. We just felt so in control. He was so sure of a clean sheet. I know against Liverpool, they didn't have a shot on target, but it still felt like they were fairly dangerous.
Yeah.
I was going when we were two goals. I was like, please get one more, then I really won't worry about the second leg. But then now only to be one. I don't feel like I'm majorly confident going into the second leg. How about you?
I'm not at all. Like, in terms of, I feel as though there's been too much rotation and changing in that back four. I think we started the season and I think Calafiori's been a big miss as well, recently as well. I feel as though he can go both ways quite well. But I feel like there's been a lot of changes, and I feel like there's a lack of stability in terms of, even today, Kepa, like you said, Raya was a big miss. Everything, if there's one thing out of kilter, where the way Arteta preps these teams so meticulously, if there's one or two things that are out of thing today, Timber's on the left, Ben White's on the right, he ain't played for a little bit, he's not up to this, really pedantic, settled idea of, how over-rehearsed idea Arteta has of how his team should play. So I feel as though little things being out of detail or out of sync can lead to more chances and to lead to more openness for Chelsea. And we saw that today. I mean, Chelsea had no business. That team has no business scoring two goals against this Arteta team.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that is worrying. And I don't want to obviously throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it is a little bit worrying conceding two. We do struggle at Stamford Bridge. I was saying this to you the other day. We do struggle. I don't know what it is. We struggle for some, even though we don't lose, which is weird.
Yeah.
We still struggle. We had closer games than they should be at Stamford Bridge.
Why are we not feeling more positive, Jonny? Like, we keep going. We're top of the
6 points top of the
Premier. I know, but we're top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, through in the cup. We've got Wigan in the cup. Now we're 3-2 up away at Chelsea, going into the. We're 2 games away from winning a first trophy in 6 years. And I don't know about you, but I'm still sitting there feeling like, we didn't play that well, now, did we? We can't be like this. We've got to be more happy, right?
We can't. Like I say, I do think. It is a frustrating team to watch at times, because it could be so good and it just isn't quite there. We just don't. So, I think we're a little bit spoiled. People will call us entitled fans, but let's have it right. I think, when you've got a team that is the best team in the world, which statistically we kind of are, we want a little bit more.
We just
dominant.
beat the best team in the world. They're the world champions.
Oh yeah,
it's the biggest badge you've ever seen in the middle of their.
And they still are the world champions. Even no matter how many times they get beat, they could get relegated. They still be the world champions.
Champions of the world, mate. We'll never sing that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we are being a bit spoiled. I think it's, when you say about entitled fans, I don't feel entitled as a fan to win trophies. I really don't. But I do feel entitled when, I totally agree with you, when you look at the quality we've got and you look at how well we can play, you do feel entitled to want to see that a bit more.
Yeah.
Because we are top of the league. We are top of the Champions. You're like, come on, we should, when we were 3-1, I should have been 4-5.
I don't know. Do you know what? There's one thing in particular that I am a little bit frustrated by, and that is, if I'm honest, we'll talk about this another day, is Saka's performances. I don't think Saka's imposing himself on games as much as he should, and I feel as though that is our star man. So, if your star man isn't doing all the things he should do, and he's only giving it to you in spells and occasionally during games, yeah, that kind of that has a knock-on effect to everyone else. And I feel like Saka could be playing better. He's got his contract now, but he could be playing better.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into that on Friday, but there is a bit of me that when it used to go out to Saka on the right, I used to be like, right, here we go. Now when it goes to Saka on the right, I'm like, don't think much is going to happen here. Again, you know what you're talking about. I'm quite thick, so if you're saying it, then maybe there is some truth in it.
That is not true at all, Luke. You've got as good a football mind, if not better than mine. You've got the best football shirt on, by the way.
Thank you.
I want that shirt, and it is from your trip to Japan.
This is a Japan shirt. If you're looking at on the YouTube, it's a Japan shirt. It's got sort of things from Tokyo, things from Osaka. It looks like I sort of went on to ChatGPT and asked them to make me my favourite football shirt, but it's by Adidas. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous shirt.
As is your Pascal Cygan one in the background.
Yeah, I've got a Cygan shirt. I think I'm the only person in the world with a Pascal Cygan shirt, which I've got there. I bought that at the time in 2004 because I thought, he'll like that. I thought Pascal Cygan. I think Pascal Cygan played about 14 times in that Invincible season.
Yeah, he did.
But I thought, Pascal, Thierry Henry's not going to pick me out in the crowd, but Pascal might go, hey, you're my guy, come on. And I'll get to kiss him on his little bald head. It'd be great.